Welcome to I Feel Fat Today. I'm your host, Kelly Taylor. Thank you for joining. Okay, so today's episode is really not going to be a full-fledged episode, as you can tell if you're watching this on YouTube. I am not doing a video. And as far as recording, I didn't even pull out the mic and recorder. This is literally just being recorded on my phone. So just going to apologize up front for any weird sounds or recording issues. It should pick up okay. And again, this isn't going to be a long episode by any means. This is going to be more of an announcement. So where do I begin? Okay. So the past few days have been a whirlwind, and it's not something I don't think I'm fully wanting to talk about what has happened, just out of respect for my family, Joe's family, really my family. Joe's family is my family. But there was a loss that has been experienced, a very grave loss. And so with that, I'm sort of just posting this to kind of serve as a placeholder, because I don't think I'm going to be able to dutifully put out episodes every week for the next few weeks. There's just too much grief happening. I can't focus. I can't really think straight. I kind of am in the wake of experiencing this level of loss that Joe really, my boyfriend, guest of the show, friend of the show, I should say, that Joe is the one really experiencing. And there's something with loss that when someone you love is experiencing emotional torture, that I feel like there's like a transference almost that happens. And there's no way to say that where I don't sound like a total dickhead, but I hate that the term empath has been demonized, because I really do feel, as an empath, I really do feel like I am an empath, just because of how deeply I experience emotions and other people's emotions. Like, I always thought when I was young that I just had a superpower, that I had the ability to know the temperature of the room, if there was tension, or, if it was happy, if everything was cool. I thought that I had a superpower. Turns out that's just a survival instinct. But regardless, it's been a very, very hard few days. I'm going to be very tangential on this little episode update minisode. Because I also do not intend on editing this at all. I don't have the capacity to do any of that. But okay, so yes, an unfortunate event happened that I think I can talk a little bit more about when I come back. But when I look at my calendar, I'm kind of thinking that through Labor Day, for sure, there won't be any new episodes. And this is for my, 10 listeners, 7 really, my 7 listeners that do listen to the podcast each week. And you notice that, there aren't any coming out. Like, it's not because I've quit. It's not because I'm stopping. It's just that I know I won't have the capacity to put out even like the simplest of episodes. Just given where I'm at and what I know is going to be needed of me to take care of Joe. in the wake of, him experiencing a monumental loss. So yeah, as I look at a calendar, I mean, this is set to come out the 16th. And so then there's the 25th, there's the 30th. I'm thinking the week of September, let's go with mid-September. I'm going to try to be back full-fledged mid-September. And in that time of me kind of going dark on this channel, I'm going to try to get caught up with interviewing guests, having some things banked, because I've been able to kind of keep all of the plates spinning as just myself, as this one man show, host, creator, producer, editor, social media guru. I do all of it for this show, and it kind of has made me realize, like, when I weigh the pros and cons of having a co-host, how a co-host would be so clutch right now, because they can kind of just take the reins and have the show go in my absence. But that's not something that is available to me right now, because I don't have a co-host, which is fine. And maybe it's something to consider for the future, and like the success of this show is, do I consider bringing someone on as a co-host that, can add some depth and dimension to this show? It's a thought, it's an idea. So I don't know, I the reason why I say I want to, work on episodes in this dark time, I don't know how much I'll be able to work on it. But I think there are some behind the scenes things that I'll be able to work on. I don't see myself being able to film in front of a camera or be on a mic, at least for a little bit, a couple weeks. I would say less than a few, more than a couple. Just take off for the rest of the summer kind of thing, which pains me. It really pains me, because when I started out on this, podcast, I Feel Fat Today journey, I really wanted to build something where I am creating a community and a sort of catalog of experiences for people that struggle with body image, struggle with their weight, struggle with eating disorders, that they have a place that they can go to listen to the stories of people, mostly comedians, so funny stories, to listen to stories of people that have those same lived experiences. And I don't see myself being able to put out an episode every Friday for the next few weeks. But it's really important to me that the small fan base I have knows that this is just a temporary break, because in order for myself to heal, in order for my family to heal, the family that I'm creating to heal, I want to be fully present and I want to be there. So that's why I've made the decision to just take a step back, and I will be back, and hopefully better. Hopefully the show will be better. Hopefully my mental will be better. I had been thinking about how I do want to just quickly record something that I can put out for Friday, for this Friday. And I couldn't, it's like, it wasn't so much like I couldn't lift my head off the pillow kind of thing. It was more like I couldn't even formulate words out of my mouth. When you're grieving, it's like when your computer randomly gets slow and you're like, why is this not working right now? That's how I felt my brain was, just like a slow to turn on machine that can only focus on one thing at a time. And it, was very, like, if in the last few days I sat down to read something, I couldn't. I can barely even do the New York Times games. It kind of felt like your brain is scrambled eggs. And when I think about how what I'm feeling is nothing in comparison to what Joe's family is feeling, it's kind of overwhelming. But, oh man, what else do I have to say? I'm thinking maybe what I might do is recasts, they're kind of called. A recast type deal situation. People a part of Gore World understand that reference. What am I saying? Where I take an episode from the past and sort of reboot it for new listeners to consume. So I can take like the first guest that I had, May Planner, instead of putting out a freshly new filmed episode, I can just do a recast where I re-upload it for, newer listeners that I have and the new subscribers that I have to listen to. So that's a thought. I might do that. But again, that might honestly be too much work in just the wake of what I'm experiencing. But I will say that as I sort of in the last few days have been sitting with grief, and it feels like death has permeated the walls of my apartment, I can tell you that I've had a lot of, I don't know if I can say a lot of epiphanies, but I definitely have had thoughts of how I'm never going to roll my eyes at a photo again. Because when a person is gone, there's no more chances for more photos. And I'm not a photo person. I've talked about it very candidly on this podcast. I don't like my picture being taken because of the dread that I feel. And I was looking at a photo recently where when the photo was initially taken, I had just wished that I looked better in it. It was just this photo of my family. And I look at that photo now and I am so fucking grateful to have it. So grateful. So I'm not going to be upset or annoyed at photos anymore. I'm going to take more pictures of people, especially people that I love and respect. And I was actually thinking, I was like, I will never be ungrateful for my life. And then immediately I thought, that's a lie. That it is impossible for me to maintain completely grateful for my life. Even when I look at the devastation of what someone losing their life can cause, I can't do it. I just know that something so trivial is going to come along and I'm going to, wish I were dead. But isn't that, the process of growing? What am I saying? This should have ended fucking 10 minutes ago. Okay. Yeah. I think once I'm a little bit more comfortable with the whole situation and feel like out of respect, I just want to just wait before I talk about anything at all. in general, I know nothing about anything. So please just let this serve as a update that I'm going to be taking some time off, but when I come back, we're going to be better. And this isn't the last you've heard from me. All right. I will talk to you when I talk to you. Thank you. Bye.